Paronto here on the MAG-TAC Podcast. Hello again, Kris. I've got to ask the hand gesture.
Yeah.
You're sort of famous for it. What's that all about?
Jumbo. I learned the jumbo. Actually, I learned it in Mosul, Iraq, when I was working with the agency. A lot of our guards at the bases we worked with within the agency itself, they usually weren't American guards. We usually hired out because we didn't want to give the impression that our area was a bunch of Americans, even though you saw big guys with tattoos up and down their arms rolling in and out of the gate,
right.
regardless. But I remember whenever we'd roll out the gate in Mosul, and this was in 2008, 2009, I would roll out, the guys would always say, I got to know the guards, great guys. And they would always say, hey, Jumbo, Tonto. And I stopped one day because I didn't know what it meant. And I assumed, but I wanted to make sure.
They're saying,
like, hey,
lousy Americans.
Yeah, exactly. It's like saying, hey, Tonto, go bleep yourself.
Right.
But I stopped them and I said, guys, what's that mean? And they go, it means, well, what it officially means from Swahili or Tunisia, it means good morning. So they would always throw up and say, hey, good morning, Jumbo. But because of the internet, because of the intraweb, I like to make fun of the internet, because of the intraweb and everything out there, they got to see the shock all the time. It started to mean the same thing. So it really, shaka, be cool, Jumbo means be cool. And what I did over the years, many West Africans work in the Middle East. They do most of the menial labor for the Iraqis or even Afghanis, along with the Hazaras and so forth. There are a lot of them over there. So whenever I threw this up, everybody within the country, if I got it back, 9 times out of 10, I knew they were friendly. I mean, not all the time. And that night, after doing this Jumbo for many years and getting it back usually meant they were friendlies. When that night came and the morning came, I had nothing else to indicate. I didn't know how to. I didn't have any phone calls with the Libyan guys. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know what they looked like. The only thing I could think of was, and I was tired. I was very, very tired. I said, well, I'll just throw up the Jumbo.
And you were ready to smash some pancakes.
I was ready to smash some pancakes. And also I was, oh man. And I also had a 50 cal pointing at my head. A Dishka was right at my forehead. And I just went, I took my offhand and I went, and I was behind that parapet wall. And like the rest of the country, they knew the Jumbo and they threw it up and they smiled, big old smiles. And I was like, they're with us. And, so,
you're known for that now. That's
Kris
Tonto Paronto's thing. Hey, you sent me a text when we were setting this up and you said, hey, honestly, all this product, Maglite looks sweet.
Yeah.
By the way, Maglite is the standard for handheld devices. And that you stand behind that?
I do. I do. They've been around forever. I mean, since we were contracting, anything from the big security flashlight. And I worked security for Mutual of Omaha when I was in college, guys. So I was a security officer. And what did I have right here on my side? I had a big Maglite. I don't know the actual brand, the model anymore, but the old school big got the
4D cell Maglite.
Yep. But that's what I carried. And that's the looms that we had. They always had the perfect looms. And I said, they always are inventive, and the rechargeable stuff. They were really the first ones to start doing rechargeable flashlights that I got to be involved with. And then every base that we were at within a room or you're within an area, there was always a Maglite out there. And then of course Surefire came along, and then there was some competition. But that's but as far as me using and the handheld stuff that we used, it was always Maglite. And that MAG-TAC 2 is. They're setting the standard again, obviously. Yeah, it's incredible. And you got the glass break at the end, but I said they've always been the standard, and they've been around
since.
Is
sometimes referred to as the Maglite DNA collector.
DNA collector. Yeah. And that's their thing too.
Not an intended use. Not an intended use.
But if you have to
legally,
if you have to thump somebody in the forehead, sometimes that's the good force escalation to do.
Again, the Maglite attorneys would say not an intended use, and that is entirely editorial content by Kris Tonto Paronto here on the Maglite Podcast. By the way, how important do you think it is to make things in the United States?
Got to make them. That's why we're falling behind. That's why we're in the position that we are. Manufacturing needs to be done here. Bring back manufacturing here. We bring back jobs here. We bring back control here, and we don't have to rely on these other countries that got us over a barrel right now, like China. And it's better product. The stuff's made better. So, dude, if it's made in the USA, you support it.
By the way, Maglite is manufactured in the United States. There are a few components that have to be sourced overseas because we simply don't make them in the United States anymore, which, by the way, scares the hell out of me that we're buying all of our electronic switches from China, a country that hates us.
Yeah.
You can't run a tactical flashlight, much less an Air Force interceptor or attack helicopter without electronic switches. Kris, it's been great. Thanks for doing a bunch of segments with us here on the Maglite MAG-TAC podcast. We really appreciate it. You are a true American, and hopefully someday we can get you out to Maglite proper and get you introduced to the whole family.
Love that. I'd be honored, brother. Thanks, Lou. I appreciate it, man.
Kris Tonto Paronto here on the Maglite MAG-TAC podcast. Thank you, sir. That's all for now.